Without transferring one stitch, I will show you how to machine knit this super easy picot hem. I'm demonstrating on an LK150, but this will work on any flatbed machine. First, set the tension to the main tension for the yarn and set the carriage to knit in both directions. I'm going to pull up 20 to 20, just a sampling. And then I'm going to retract every other needle. I'm in knit, so these, even though they're in the hold position, they will knit. So I'm going to knit one row across. And I'm going to put my little weight on there. And, important, I'm going to put my cast-on comb here. And this is set so that I'll go right and catch those bars, if you can see that I've caught the bars on that. Okay. Now, I'm going to knit, that was row 1. Now, I'm going to knit 7 more rows. Okay, so I'm on row counter 8. Now, I'm going to switch over to my main color. And this is this nice soft blue. But that was waste yarn. Now, I'm going to knit, here's my first row. I'm going to knit, 8 more rows. Now, what's interesting about this is I'm still on every other needle. So now I'm going to form my picots. I'm just going to bring up all the needles in between the 2 end needles. Now you can pull up this extra one on the end. That's fine if you need an even number, but for this one I'm not going to leave it out of play. Okay, so now I'm going to knit same tension. I haven't changed my tension at all. I'm going to knit 10 more rows, 2 more than my first one. Okay, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? So now I'm going to go take my weight off and take my cast-on comb off, and I'm going to return to that very first row. Starting on the right, push every other needle out to upper work position to make it easier to hang the hem. So here are my stitches, my every other needles that had the stitches on them. And now I'm going to hang the stitches onto those needles. These are the bars on the very first row. Now once you've got the edge done, I'm just picking up with my first eyelet and my third eyelet because it's every other stitch and hang it. It's a lot faster that way. And I started on my right, but you can also start on your left if you choose to. It doesn't really matter. All I'm doing is loading the stitches that had the stitches before. Now I'm getting down to the end, so I'm going to have to go back to my 1 prong. And you'll always be short 1. And so what I'm going to do is just pick up a loop on this very end and tie it down. Now, this is when you push it back. You can remove your waste yarn if you'd like at this point, or you can wait until afterwards. I am going to rehang some weight. And the one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my stitch size 1 click larger. Okay? And I'm still in knit. I'm going to knit one row. That joins the hung hem to the main garment. While it's on this side, I'm going to return it to 3.5, which is the main tension for this particular yarn. So then I'm just going to start knitting my garment in the main tension. Now let's just take a look at what we have. This is the back, and we will remove this waste yarn. So I'm going to take this off so I have a nice swatch, and I'll rejoin you in a few minutes. Let's look at the swatch. See how nice and crisp the picots are? Since there are half the number of stitches on the inner side, the hem is thin and flat and will naturally pull in on the edges. When seaming the garment, just tack the edges of the inner hem to the seams. This keeps the picots shaped properly right up to the seams. Here is an example of a deeper hem. You do this by just adding more rows. However, remember to add the extra 2 rows to the outer side of the hem. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. Happy machine knitting!